Welcome. Today's webinar is on what is an LMS and why does my business need one? This is a really fun topic I've been looking forward to. My name is Dr. Tammy Frame. I'm the Chief Education Officer at eClass for Learning. We are a full-service e-learning provider, so that means we can help with many things, and we'll talk about a lot of those today in the webinar. My contact information is here. We are recording today's webinar, and those of you that have signed up will receive a copy. Great. We are using GoToWebinar as our webinar platform today, and you'll notice under there that there is an area for questions. I would love it if you submitted questions during the webinar. That makes it a lot more interactive and fun and more of a community of practice. If you are one of the people that signed up for today's webinar and cannot attend in person, feel free to email those questions to me and I'd be happy to answer them following the webinar. So with that, we will get started. So the first thing that we want to talk about is what is a learning management system. And I think one of the key words in learning management system, also referred to as LMS, is the word management. And in those systems, you can manage learning much more effectively. And in a minute, we'll talk about how it can save time and money. And so lots of things can be housed in the learning management. What they are really good at is to help track the learning, to put all the things in one place, and to add all different kinds of training content, and also for advanced reporting of that to make that much easier for the people in charge of training. So it has a lot of advantages. This was a report that I was reading from the American, let's see, where are they from? They are the Association for Talent Development, and they do an annual report on the industry. And they found that companies with fewer than 500 employees will spend on average $1,888 per employee. Well, companies between 500 and 9,999 will spend about $838 per employee. So the more employees, the more you can spread the cost out. But if you have a learning management system, you can reduce your costs quite a bit to less than $100 a year. And a lot of the solutions that I'll be talking about today are very affordable for small businesses. And I think they help with cost in a couple ways. One, people aren't traveling as much. Two, it takes a lot less of maybe the human resources or the training manager's time to track everybody. That's all done automatically. You don't have to print out materials. You don't have to hire an external person to come. So that really drives costs down. Plus, it makes it a lot more convenient and efficient for the people tracking it and for the people taking it as well. So here are some of the ways that I see our clients using LMSs for, and there are many more. And if you know of some that you have heard of or that you're currently using in your business or looking to use, put that in the chat. I'm sure we would all benefit from that. Probably the number one use that I help our clients with is compliance training. A lot of people are in industries such as the healthcare industry or even the technology industry where compliance is really important. Maybe you have certain security policies that everybody has to sign off on and be aware and follow certain security things to get a certain security certification for your company. Maybe people have to do certain training every so often in order to be certified to do certain healthcare things. And the systems that we work with, and I'll talk about the differences in them and some of the more advanced ones are excellent at that type of thing. And so that can be a very important reason. That can also save the company a lot of money in legal fees. You can show that everybody received the training, that they were trained, that you've been in compliance of giving everybody the training that your industry requires. And the next one is training for sales and customer service staff. Um, a lot of the products have new features and new things, and you want your sales people to be aware of those, or maybe new pricing structures or things like that, and you can put the newest information so that they can be there. All of their sales and marketing materials can be in one area that they can pull from. That can be a really excellent way of doing that. Customer service is kind of near and dear to our heart. It's something that eClass for Learning is excellent at, and we do quite a bit of training of our own internal staff. We do a lot of end user support for our clients, and we train them on common problems that end users might have and how to answer those, or new things that browsers come out with that might be difficult, and how to help people through that. And it's a very effective way where people can quickly find in one central place what they need to answer questions. Another one is orientating new employees. And for that one, I would say this one we've done with a lot of our clients. Oftentimes in the first few days, there's a lot of things that they need to get through. And instead of taking a whole person in HR to go through that with them, they could be doing that online, especially if you onboard a lot of people. And so you can have a new employee program, let's say, in some of our LMSs, where there's a series of courses, and they can even happen in a certain order that employees need to do things and sign off on things and be made aware of policies and procedures. And that can be a very, very effective way of doing that. Collaborative learning environments is another one. We also are a reseller of Totara Social, which is another system that works with Totara Learn. So Totara Learn would be the learning management system, and the social is the collaborative learning environment that goes with that. And it's very robust, but the learning management systems themselves do have collaborative tools that can help teams collaborate. What I like about Totara Social is that it's so much more organic, and you can use it in several different ways. For example, you could use it to document knowledge within an organization. So if you have a problem, and some of our clients talk about this and have this issue where somebody leaves and they leave with all the knowledge around that job. Let's say it's the person in charge of training and they don't know where their files are kept or how they were generated. All of that can be collaboratively built and shared so that when the person leaves, it's all there. You can create assets that way, and that works well too. Another one that we help a lot of clients, and I'm going to show you some examples in a little bit with, are selling courses. So a lot of small businesses are in the business of selling some of their content or expertise, or they already do a service and they could reach a much broader audience if they could sell on the internet. And we help a lot of small businesses with that as well. And it could be that you have a combination of these, and you might have all of the above going on, and we can segment and have different areas for different uses all in the same system. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about selling courses. That has been very popular with our company, and I'll just show you some examples of some clients. So Crowd Manager would be one. They sell courses for fire marshals that have to get compliance. And so that would be a great one. And in here, we provide actually on these types of sites, I'm going to show you 3 things that we do. First of all, when you are selling a course, you need a really good website to sell the course on. So we do help businesses with that. And we don't recommend doing the actual selling on the LMS because we want to have really good search engine optimization. But then we brand the learning management system so that it has the same look and feel. And often the user, when they log in, doesn't feel like they have left the website. And we also process the payments through there as well. So that would be one example. Here's another one of one. They are using Totara, and this is for Edwards Mediation Academy, and they sell courses to lawyers all over the world. We're just launching with them, selling worldwide how to do mediation to different lawyers. And so then from here, you can go to the courses, and it has, again, information about the course, and we can help with the website as well as with the e-learning part. And then it has single sign-on right from here into the course, and it has a similar look and feel, and the learner can get accredited in mediation skills from purchasing that. Here's another one that we've done for the Wisconsin Teachers Association, and they have, if you, this one in this particular store in our courses, what we do is we authenticate against their member database, and if they're a member, the course is actually less expensive. If they want to buy a course, they can go from here and they can add it to their cart, buy it. Again, there's single sign-on right into their courses, and they can begin learning. So here it's a discount price if you're a member, and it will check if you are a member, and from there it will apply the discount. Here's another one. This one is done in LearnDash, and users, again, the marketing piece is very important. And eClass for Learning can help you with marketing your courses. We build search engine optimization into our sites, and we will teach you how you can do that too to get better visibility on the web and draw more traffic to your sites. So if you're interested in selling courses, we will do a free analysis with you, a free consultation, and help you with that. There are several steps that are involved. One is making the website to draw the traffic, which includes the online store. You do need to get your own payment gateway, so something like PayPal or Stripe or Authorize.net are some that we commonly work on with clients. And those accept the credit card payment, deposit the money in your bank. And then also, as part of that store, they're creating username passwords when they sign up. And then that gives them single sign-on into their course, which is housed in the LMS. And what we really work hard on is a seamless transition from the website to the LMS, and making that a one-stop shop, and that the learner doesn't even feel that they've left the website. There are several different types of LMS systems that we support. These are the major ones, but we do have a couple others as well. When you talk with us, and we're always happy to talk to potential clients, find out what their needs, help them, direct them to the best products for what they're trying to do, and then help them come up with a proposal of what that would cost. But these are 3 that we use quite a bit, and I'll talk about how they're different. So first of all, LearnDash. LearnDash works with WordPress, which is what we create our websites on. And a lot of the things that we work with are more open source, because we know that small businesses don't have big budgets, and that really lowers the costs quite a bit. And so WordPress is an inexpensive web platform that has thousands and thousands of really cool templates. When we work with you on a small business package, we will help pick templates that are stable and good for that we've worked with before, that will look good for your branding and work good for your content, but also are not glitchy. Because just because there are thousands of templates out there, they're not all equal. And some of the things that LearnDash can do, it's very visual, and you can carry over, often the theme from your WordPress page pretty easily. It's very good if you just have some basic things you want to do. So if you have some content, maybe a simple quiz, and a certificate of completion, and those are your requirements, that is a good LMS for you. Now, a lot of businesses don't end up going with LearnDash because it doesn't support SCORM packages. And SCORM packages are important for several reasons. You can either create your own or you can purchase them from an external source. So if you're a small business, Totara has partnerships with Open Sesame, which has over 30,000 courses. But those courses would work on any LMS. It's just the integration is very, very seamless with Totara. And so don't always feel like, oh my gosh, how are we going to make all of these compliance courses, for example? We can help direct you to some in your industry, can purchase those, and it can be even pay per use in different plans that they have. And then that can be put in there. But perhaps you want to create your own. We also teach people how to do that. There are several different softwares that you can use. We use Articulate Storyline quite a bit, and even if you want eClass for Learning to make your modules, we can do that. And SCORM has sound, media, text, and animation. It has a lot of interactive triggers that you can use too to test for understanding. So that's why it's quite popular. You can make those in-house and then upload them to the LMS, and it'll pass data as to quiz completion and things like that. So we are experts in SCORM. We are experts in Articulate Storyline. We also have partnerships with Open Sesame and can help you find content as well. So like I said, we're a full service solution. And so when we look at cost, there is a small annual subscription for LearnDash, so it's not that expensive. And I would say that is of the ones that we support, probably the easiest LMS to get up and running and to learn from. But if you have more complex requirements, it may not be the best choice for you. The next one is Moodle. Moodle is one of the most widely used LMS systems in the world. One of the advantages, it is free. So if you're a startup or a small business, that is a definite plus. I think that it has one of the best assessment options and one of the most robust quizzing platforms. So we've even used it to help different organizations create medical trials that have very strict rules, where so many minutes between assessments and so on. And Moodle is really good for educational institutions. Again, if you don't have real advanced reporting needs, it can be a good choice too. It's a little bit more difficult to learn, but that's where eClass for Learning comes in. And I'll talk about our onboarding and support options in a little bit. That's some area where we really excel. The thing about Moodle is it has so many features. It can be a little overwhelming of where to start with a new user, but we are experts, and when we learn your use cases and what you want to do, we can quickly get you up and running and get you a good-looking Moodle course to deliver learning to your constituents. One of my favorites is Totara. Totara is, you see, probably one of the more difficult ones, But again, eClass for Learning can help you navigate that. One of the reasons that it takes a little bit more time to learn, and I would say that if you go with eClass for Learning, you're looking at about 10 hours of training to get up and running with it, is that it has a lot of interconnected parts that make it very, very powerful for tracking and reporting and certifications and things like that. So, Totara is based on the Moodle platform originally. And if you're coming from a Moodle environment and you're frustrated, and that's how a lot of our clients have moved from Moodle to Totara, maybe you're frustrated because you can't get the reports out that you need, or you can't assign learning easily to large groups of people. Um, Totara is made much more for corporations and for businesses. And so it has a lot more features to help with compliance training, especially. It has built in HR functionality, so things like how to do an appraisal or how to do 360-degree feedback is built right in along with the appraisal process, and you can create individual learning plans. So it's quite a bit more powerful than the others too. One of my favorite features is the dynamic report builder. Pretty much everything in the database you can pretty much access and create your own dynamic reports. And dynamic means that the data can roll up and the people that need to see certain types of data can see it. Like I said before, you can have personalized learning plans and those can be tracked. There's manager dashboards, so those dashboards, the manager can see how their team is doing, and it has far, far better tracking than other LMS systems that I've seen. It's also very, very interoperable, and you kind of set up the system, and that's why it takes a little bit more, and you really want an expert to help you. You can map out your organizational structure and have data roll up in that way. So if you wanted your managers of different regions to just see data on just their region, you can create one report and it will everybody will be viewing just the appropriate data for them. And so that one has many, many features that can be a whole nother webinar. In fact, I'd be happy to do a demo if you would like to see that one. Now, all of these need to be hosted somewhere, and we help clients in both ways. Sometimes they have servers on their own, and we assist. We even sell technical support blocks where we can help you technically with that if you need help with upgrades and such. Or eClass for Learning can host it for you, and our hosting is pretty competitive and inexpensive. It's built on Amazon Web Servers, so it scales really easily up and down. And we do have some really nice small business pricing where we can do it retroactively by the prior month's usage for hosting. And that helps your business scale up and down. And so there might be times of the year when you have very few learners, and that's okay. Then you wouldn't be paying for those. And other times where you might sell a lot of courses, and then you would be getting more revenue if you're selling courses. And so obviously you're putting more load on the server, and your hosting costs would go by the user. So a lot of our clients have really found that flexible pricing model to be really helpful in not putting their business at risk, and helping them not have to commit to a whole year and be locked in a contract. Another area that eClass for Learning really excels at is our onboarding and support. And this is just a suggested timeline. When we work with a client, we kind of customize this based on their needs. But this one would be for Totara. And a lot of our implementations take approximately 6 weeks, depending on how complex and what you want to do. But the first thing we would do is install Totara either on your servers or set up an installation. When you work with eClass for Learning hosting, you get your own server, and so it's not shared. And if you have any special plugins or things you need installed as well, we would do that. If you're installing user data, we look at that, make sure it's all correct and ready to be imported. If you need to set up like automation with your Active Directory or an HR system, we do have system integration specialists on staff who can help that. If you need your theme customized, which I would recommend, there are a couple out-of-the-box themes, but we also recommend staying with the standard themes for the LMS and then just customizing it. We don't recommend building themes from scratch because that can often break and be very costly and timely and when you do upgrades. So we like to make upgrades as seamless as possible. So what we'll do is we'll have a sandbox site and we do theme development here where we match that branding for you. And if you have an existing website, we try to match the look and feel as much as we can so that's a very seamless experience from one platform to the other. If you have courses existing elsewhere, we can migrate those for you. If you have any third-party e-learning content, let's say Open Sesame and so on, we can get that all set up for you so that it's all in the LMS for you. If you're in Totara, we would help you map out your organization, your roles, your positions, your competencies, your courses and programs so that all the reporting and tracking comes out correctly. And then we get to training, and we kind of have 4 levels of training. We start with site administrator training. So a lot of those people might be your IT types of people, and we're setting up security policies and things like that for the site. And then we also train the course creators who are setting up the courses, who's putting content into the learning management system. And we help that group figure out what's the best method and tools for them to do that. And then we have a manager training, and we help the managers in the organization know how they can set up individual learning plans for their learners, how they can do appraisals and 360-degree feedback, and what reports they have access to at their fingertips, and how to customize their manager dashboard, and how to check their team and their team dashboard and things like that so they can effectively use the system to help with talent management. And then we also make an end user orientation video, and that is very different for every organization because every organization is using their LMS for different things. And so we want it to look just like their LMS with their themes and their features. And we make that, so usually those are 1 to 4 minutes long, and they tell the user what to expect, how to log on, how to navigate, typical things that they might do on their LMS site, which again varies. Nobody has submitted questions today. You've been a very quiet group. If there are any questions right now, feel free to put them in the questions. If you prefer to email me separately, that's fine. Like I said, I am recording today's session, and we will send that out to you, and my contact information is there, and I'd be happy to help or do further demos for your organization and find out what your e-learning needs are. So with that, I hope you have a good rest of your afternoon, and thanks so much for attending today.